Inside the one and only John Kavana. We are here for the Conor McGregor media workout, 2 weeks away from the fight. And John, I just want to say before we start, this does not preclude you from keeping tradition and coming on the show the Monday before the fight. I just want to put that out there beforehand.
Deal.
I like that. What's it been like? You've been here for around a month. What's the experience been like thus far?
You know, I'll be honest, the experience so far has been wake, gym, greens and proteins, house, nap, wake, gym, greens and proteins, home, sleep. We've literally done that for 4 weeks solid now. This is our first time seeing other human beings in a month. So it's nice, and it's very nice to see a familiar MMA face.
That's right. In a way, is this almost an easier camp because you only have to focus on one discipline?
I always get in trouble when I say that. It's literally simpler in that obviously boxing is one part of the MMA puzzle. So it's been fun. Like, I've used the example, if we're getting ready for a jiu-jitsu tournament, we've dropped everything except jiu-jitsu, and it's nice to focus on one martial art in depth for an extended period of time. When else would we get a chance to do this? He's going from one big MMA fight to the next. We just don't have the ability to take time off, and what we've been able to do here is really going to, you know, this is obviously great. It's a great spectacle, but you know, my heart is MMA, so I'm looking forward to using these skills we've sharpened back in the MMA world.
So that confirms that he will at some point come back, because a lot of people are worried that he's going to love this, perhaps win, and never return to the UFC.
As another famous Jew said, "What good does worry do us?"
That's
so
right.
I don't pay too much attention to worry. Conor loves fighting, and he loves mixed martial arts. He's of course going to have a nice bank account when this is all over, but you can only drive one car at a time, you can only have one meal at a time, and fighting is in his heart, it's in his blood. I have no doubt he'll be back in the cage.
Has anything surprised you about this process? When you were thinking about game planning for Floyd and how this camp would go, the experience, has anything turned out differently than you originally thought?
No, not really. I probably the Monday, or traditional Monday, I might have more to say, because I guess today marks the beginning of the 2-week taper, physically in training, and upping the social media and the interview side of things. Like, today is a new level, so that was new. You know, I'm used to quite a bit of hullabaloo when Conor does something, but I don't know. I'd guess it's got to be over 100 journalists here, so that's a new level. So who else knows what will be new over the next 2 weeks?
As you know, over the past week, the main story has not been Floyd Mayweather, it has been Paulie Malignaggi. Have you taken exception with anything that he has said about being a part of this training camp as a sparring partner, the living conditions, the demands, the 12 rounds coming off the plane? Has anything that he has said been either A, inaccurate, or B, just completely inflammatory?
You know, it's weird. I'm in a little bubble. I you know, obviously, you know, my fiancée Orla, I chat to her a little bit on Skype or whatever, and she just asked me similar questions. I haven't actually seen anything.
Okay.
You know, you're scrolling through news articles, and I see he's obviously done quite a few interviews. I've genuinely not watched one. The only thing I would say is I was very grateful to have him here. We got 2 great spars out of him. You know, I'm very confident of Conor's skills, but I'd have to be, you know, the engineer in me would have to be honest and say I hadn't seen him spar a high-level boxer until I saw him spar Paulie, and it was nice to be confirmed that I was very sure his technique and skills would cross over to this area, and that only confirmed it for me. So I'm very happy with Paulie. I'm very, very glad he was part of the team. To be honest, two good spars out of him was what I was kind of expecting to get anyway. The fact it went sour and he's clearly unhappy, what comment can I make on that? That's up to him. I've literally not watched one of his 50 interviews, if I'm being honest about it.
Okay. Do you think he's trying to get a fight with Conor, and are you in favor of that, if so?
Well, I have seen those articles and those headlines, and you know, that seems to be Conor. He goes from one major fight to the next. I would hope it's MMA next. You know, the 12-round spar kind of answered any question to me on if there would be a point in doing a fight. But yeah, look, MMA is my love, MMA is my passion. I want to see him back in the UFC before the year is over, you know.
Was it a knockdown or a push?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the rounds will be released after the fight.
Okay.
Obviously, after the fight,
Yeah.
we're hardly going to release 12 rounds of homework before the fight. But as far as I'm aware, they'll be released after the fight, unless, of course, we're assigned to fight Hawley.
Right.
But I won't claim to be an expert in boxing, but I saw him get hit in the head and fall down, so that to me looks like a knockdown.
Okay. What do you make of this whole 8-ounce, 10-ounce thing? Do you believe that Floyd really wants to make it 8 ounces? And if so, do you think that that is in your favor?
Oh, the lighter the glove, the better for us.
Okay.
You know, we are used to 4 ounces. We're used to a smaller glove. I actually he's wearing the 8 ounce today, and I only got to see them today. And I'm used to the 16. We're putting the 16 ounce gloves on him, and it's actually terrifying to think what it would be like if he had 8 ounce gloves on. You know, the actual padding on the knuckle part is not all that different than the amount of padding on the knuckle part of a UFC glove, because you've got, obviously the weight is made up of padding on the entire glove, but the actual part protecting against the knuckle is very, very small. And you know, I actually jumped in and did a little bit with him.
I saw that.
And I felt a few even just a few light powered shots, and yeah, it gives you a whole new respect for it.
And so why do you think that Floyd would want this?
The only logical thing I can think for him is maybe two things. One, it's kind of like me challenging GSP to a fight. It's a safe challenge because he'll never take it. You know, in fact, GSP, I challenge you to a fight. He'll never take it.
Right.
What use does GSP have for whooping me? So I think it's kind of a safe thing because, as far as I'm aware, like there's a rule that it has to be 10 ounce. Maybe that's questionable. I don't know. And then secondly, maybe he sees it'll make his punches quicker, slightly lighter glove. But if it does happen, and in round one when Conor connects, he may ask for a 10 ounce for round two.
Yeah, Conor just said if he gets 8 ounces, he thinks he'll knock him out in the first round. Do you believe that as well?
Yes, I do. I just, you know, obviously Floyd's an incredibly accomplished boxer and fantastic defensive boxer, but he's, no matter how well things go from, it's still going to take him a couple of rounds to try and figure things out, and it doesn't take, I mean, I don't have to tell you how many times have we seen it.
Yeah.
He lands, people fall, and that's just how it is. So yeah, I think it could be a 1-round fight if it's 8 ounce gloves.
On August 16th, the Nevada Athletic Commission is going to vote on the ref and judges. You have been vocal about not wanting certain people. If you had your way right now, do you have a name in mind for referee and maybe judges as well? What are you hoping to see on the 16th?
Yeah, I've been sort of warned about talking about this.
Okay.
But yeah, put it this way, I've heard who's being talked about, and I'm happy.
You're okay with it?
I believe it will be as fair as it can possibly be. So yeah, I just got to wait for them to release it.
Do you already know who it is, and is it a formality?
It's narrowed down to a small list anyway, and you know, Bayless is not on it, so
He's not, so you're happy.
Thumbs up
Big
for
John?
No, he's not
No
on.
MMA people.
One that has a little bit of experience of both.
Does his name ride with Moni Meeks?
Maybe.
Wow, I'm onto something apparently. Are you ready for the prediction or not yet? You have made a habit out of nailing it.
Yeah, let me do it on the Monday. Let's get the gloves confirmed and
Sure.
a few other little bits and pieces. But yeah, I'm narrowing in on it. Let's put it that way.
And you see the path to victory. It's coming together. It's crystallizing in your mind.
Yeah, like I said, it was very, very nice to see him in with somebody of the very, very high standard that Paulie is. He's, you know, Paulie. He only fought this year, so he's not. You know, it's not like we dragged in somebody retired 10 years. He was in fight shape a couple of months ago, and you know, skills don't disappear overnight. So to see what he was able to do and certain strategies, certain techniques, certain shots landing, as we hoped they would, we hypothesized, but we didn't have an experiment to run to get any kind of confirmation. But those 12 rounds made me very much at ease.
Two last quick things. Have you been enjoying everyone else weighing in and trying to give you advice from afar? Every expert under the sun, boxer, trainer, pundit, telling you guys essentially what to do. For you, is that comical, or do you even listen to some of that and say, oh, that's actually a good idea, let's do this and that?
To be honest, as to listen to it, you can't. I mean, in amongst the 1,500 messages I would get a week, there may be a golden nugget in there, but I don't have time to read 1,500 essays. I mean,
Right.
they send me essays. So I'm sure there probably is some pearls of wisdom in there, but it's lost in a tsunami of nonsense. Now, what I will say is, it always makes me very happy to get all that because it shows the amount of emotional investment in the contest, and that's what we need. If no one cared about the fight, well, that's prize fighting. No one's watching. So it's been the level of interest has been fantastic. But I just maybe one day I'll have a secretary, or maybe I can ask Orla to wade through it, and if she comes across something good, she can let me know.
Hopefully you saw that song written about you guys and the journey. That was tremendous.
I did see that, and it was very good. It was very good.
Oh, I keep listening to it. I can't stop. My kids are singing it. Okay, last thing. I feel like I ask you this every time, but I mean, this is insane, right? I mean, every time it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Have you allowed yourself to smell the roses, or not? Are you so focused? Because, I mean, you guys are fighting Floyd Mayweather 4 years ago. I mean, we've told the story a million times, but this is Floyd Mayweather. This is absurd. It defies logic. We should not be here. The fact that the UFC let this, everything about it does not make sense.
Yeah, I mean, look over your shoulder.
Yes.
Imagine a few years ago, the UFC were these kind of overlords that, I mean, you couldn't whisper another company's name or any in their company. And here we are in their, whatever, $15 million outfit with Conor's name on the canvas. That catches me more than anything,
right.
Really. Like I said, you of all people know how things can go with them. And here it is, he's in conjunction with. Like he said many years ago that I kind of raised an eyebrow at, but what can I say? The man keeps delivering. But as for the magnitude of the fight, today is the first day where we've, like I said, we're a routine. We're in Vegas for a month, but it's we're not down the strip and having fun. It's work, it's training. I love being here, but that's what it is. And today is our first day, kind of starting to kind of go, oh, all right, this is actually quite a big deal,
Well, it's an honor being here, and it's an honor to talk to you in person. I'm used to the magic of Skype. I'll leave it at that. Save some more for the 21st.